Hello, I'm Mark Sawyer. I'm the minister of the Natural Rights Sangha, and this is our first online weekly meeting. The date that this will be put online is July 5th, 2020. Now, sometimes we'll do them live on Zoom, and sometimes I'll put them on our YouTube channel, which is Natural Rights Sangha on YouTube, and they will become available on the Sunday of that week. If I'm traveling especially, they're likely to be on the YouTube channel first. Otherwise, they'll be live on Zoom. And then the recordings of the meetings will be put onto the YouTube channel later. Our meetings, which some people will call services, I won't call them a satsang because I'm not that type of teacher, but our meetings will be in a format with which we start with a meditation, and then I start with questions, or go into questions which have come in. I've already got a really interesting one, which we'll do today. And then we'll cover some of the matters which are especially focused upon by the Natural Rights Sangha, including its precepts and practices, and the Four Immeasurables, which are part of our service. And then at the end, we do the Four Immeasurables, which are come from Buddhism, but they're applicable for everybody. And so what I'd like you to do first is to, because we're going to be on YouTube, you don't need to sit and meditate with me for 8 to 10 or 12 minutes. I recommend 6 minimum, hopefully 10 or 12 minutes of quiet meditation. What I'll ask you to do is just to, when I give you the signal, stop this tape and meditate for that amount of time. So you might need a timer for this. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now and ask you to find a timer, even if it's your phone. And so when the time's for meditation, you can click it on and you can meditate for 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 minutes. And when the timer goes off, you please start the tape again. So I'm going to stop this just for a second. Go ahead and go grab a timer if you don't have one. If you want to use your phone for it, that's great. By the way, it's also a good idea if you put your phone on airplane mode during our meeting so you don't get hit by the phone ringing right in the middle of something. Okay, so I'll stop this and start it up. Well, you start it up again when you're ready with a timer. Okay, we're back. Hopefully you're ready with the timer now and you're ready to meditate for 6, 8, 10, or 12 minutes. It's up to you. It's better to go a short time than try to force too long and work into longer times. There's an old story about a student who came to a master, and the master accepted this student, and he said, "Master, if I meditate 6 hours a day, how long will it take me to be enlightened?" And the master said, 10 years. And the student said, "What if I meditate 12 hours a day?" And the master looked at him and said, 20 years. Sometimes there's a less effect the more you put into it, because the more you put into it of the unfortunate type of energy, the more attached you get to this achieving something rather than something coming to this. And it's not a prize, it's not an attainment, it's something that will happen when the time is right and you can help to make the time be right. So we're going to meditate. There are many types of meditation, and we're just going to use a very simple one where all we do is we shut our eyes, we sit comfortably, we sit straight, sit in an easy posture that's easy to maintain, but balanced, not with a slouch, but sitting straight. And we inhale and exhale slowly, then we just focus on our breath. Some people like to focus on the air as it goes past the tip of the nose. Other people get it as it goes past the nasal passages. And just focus on inhale and exhale. And if other thoughts come, just let them go. Don't attach, don't think, oh, that's right. Yeah, I have to do this afterwards or whatever. Let those thoughts go for now. And if thoughts persist, just go thinking, thinking, thinking. Inhale, exhale. Okay, well, so we'll be doing this for the amount of time you decide, 6, 8, 10, 12 minutes. You go for longer if you want. So we'll start the meditation. I will turn off the recording and I'll say, okay, so I'm going to turn off the recording. And when you turn it back on, I'll say, okay, the meditation is over. Let's go to the next part of the meeting. So during this time, let's meditate. Okay, so as soon as I say let's meditate, please stop this and meditate and turn it back on when you're ready to go. Okay, so let's meditate. Okay, we're done meditating now. Hopefully we're feeling centered and relaxed and at peace. Peace is good. Today's question that came was, why do we do this? Why do we start on a spiritual path, which some people think is crazy and stupid, and other people laugh at, and other people say, I know the way, and your way isn't right. And why do we go through this? And there are all sorts of treadfalls in it, pitfalls, dangers, bad teachers, and scurrilous things, and people who take your money and have sex with you and leave you at the side of the road and whatever. Why do we do this? Well, part of the reason, of course, is we know it works. Some people it works for. We've seen it, we know it. And also, somewhere deep inside, we know it's real. If we didn't know it's real, we'd be crazy to even try. Somewhere deep inside, we know this. We know it. Now, this knowingness comes from what some people call the fourth state. More commonly, it's called Turiya, Turiya. This is awareness, but it's the deepest, most basic awareness. Many sages, including some of the greats like Shankara and Ramana Maharshi, and you'll hear those names a lot at our meetings, have said that there are three main states in life. Many teachers have repeated this, that there's the waking state, which I assume you're in now as you listen to this, as you're participating in the meeting. And there's the dreaming state, which is when you're asleep, but you're experiencing possibly strange worlds or very happy things or very crazy bad things, which is a nightmare, in your mind while you're asleep. And then there's deep sleep. And in deep sleep, you're not thinking about anything. Every question you have, every concern you have, every worry, it's all not there. But the fourth state is Turiya. And Turiya could be called the pool in which all three of these live and come out of. Everything is Turiya. Okay, could be compared to a movie screen. And here's the movie screen, and on it there's the movie of life playing. And then when we're asleep, there's a different movie playing. But then when we're in deep sleep, it's just blank for the moment. but the screen is still there. Now think about it. The one thing that you are totally sure of is that you are. There is an awareness here. And this awareness appears to be part of this physical body. And some people have probably already told you that this awareness is actually everything. It's all that is. And everything from you springs from this. They would not be wrong, but we're coming to that with time. Yeah? So why do we come to a group like the Natural Rights Sangha and go to these meetings and study keep the precepts and work with the practices, and then maybe move on to other teachers, or have come from other teachers to here just to add a solid basis to what we're doing? Why do we do it? Because we know on one level it's real. We know it. It absolutely is real on some level. Now, we also come to it from the world because, we've tried, for a man, I'll say wine, women, song, money, the job game, promotions, professional advancement, fame, power, whatever all those are. We've looked at those and we found them lacking. They're temporary. No matter how much money I made, I always thought, geez, I could have made more if I'd done this, or geez, maybe now I can make more. No matter how grand the central experience was, most of the time we always end up wondering afterwards, will it ever be this good again? Or could it be even better? Or blah, da, 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 da. Mind screwing never stops. Okay, we get caught. Music, drugs, alcohol, it's all great, but eventually you start getting hungover and you start getting to feel bad the next day, and it starts to cost a lot of money to do this, and you start to realize you're killing your body, and you start to see friends of yours drop off for various reasons from having done this too much, and you begin to realize, geez, what's going on in this world? Then politically you see craziness, socially you see strangeness, crime occurs, war happens, and as the Buddha said, life is dissatisfactory as long as we're attached to things not changing. And we get attached to something, we like it, we don't want it to change. Well, everything changes. I used to have hair. My hair didn't used to be white. Everything changes, both personally and in the world. Species go extinct. Horrible things happen to some beautiful natural places. If you just heard the big sigh behind the chair behind me, there's a big white dog named Kiki. Well, I didn't name it. Kiki, who was asleep there and just let out a big yawn. Well, Kiki's a dog and won't live as long as people. Kiki will probably be gone in a few years, and that'll be very sad. But it's just the way of the world. Pets help us to realize it really well. Now, so life is dissatisfaction or dissatisfactory. Everything from minor annoyance to grief and agony. And that comes from the Buddha, but also every great teacher basically said, yeah, if you get attached, you're in trouble. So what are we doing here? We're learning a way to not be enmeshed in this dissatisfactory way of living. We're moving to a place of peace. That's where we're going. The precepts of the Natural Rights Sangha are all designed to help you come to this place. Okay. Together, they're a wonderful tool. That's all they are, is a tool. Okay, they're a helper along the way. The practices are too. Now, one person put it really succinctly. He was kind of a gruff guy, and he said, why am I doing this? I just want to get to the point in my life where no event, no circumstance can control my behavior. I want to be in control. I don't want circumstances to control me. Well, that really struck me when he said that, because of course most of us go from circumstance to circumstance, event to event, happening to happening, responding according to our who we are in the moment, and we become totally enmeshed with whatever's happening. It gets us, and we're there, and we're tied in tight to it, and it hurts, or maybe we win and we feel good till the next time. Or in that web of being attracted to what we like, and to pleasure, and to good things, and to being averse to the bad and to the painful and the things we don't like. So we spend our life trying to bring in the good and keep away the bad. That's where the dissatisfactory comes from. The dissatisfaction comes from this. It's very hard to do. It's very, very hard to do this. In fact, Buddha would say it's impossible. So the Buddha offers a way. Now, by the way, we are not Buddhist. I'm talking a lot about the Buddha here. But it's an example. Other teachers and teachings that you will hear a lot about are not Buddhist, but they will echo these thoughts. There's a lot of evidence that Jesus even agreed with a lot of these thoughts. And every great sage basically would agree that if you're attached to what is in the impermanent world, call it Maya, call it samsara, or if it's in a playful way, call it lila. That's why you come here, is to stop that, attachment. There are other reasons too. If you have a great other reason that you came to the Natural Right Sangha or to this type of path, I'd love to hear it. Please let me know. And please let me know questions that you would like to have answered regarding the precepts, practices, some of the things that have been said on some of our videos and in our meetings. Please send them to mark@naturalrightsangha.org. That'd be fantastic. Now, at the end of each meeting, and we're already coming to the end, we like to do the Four Immeasurables. And these, I'd like you just to repeat them after me, and we will have a discussion of them at some point. I'll go over each one carefully and the ramifications of it and the deeper meanings behind it, but it's pretty nicely laid out just to say it the way it is. And we're going to do it twice. And the first time, we're just going to say I. Okay, we're going to talk about may I. Okay, and the second time we'll do it differently. And okay, I moved back a little bit. I wanted to be totally comfortable while I do this. So get in a comfortable position. I like to put my hands together in the namaste or namaskar position or in the prayer position when I say them. But so please repeat after me. These are the four measurables. So may I have happiness and the causes of happiness. May I be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May I never be separate from the happiness that is free of sorrow. May I reside in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. Okay, that was for the I. And now I'd like you to envision people you care about, or maybe people you're unhappy with. And I'd like you this week to focus on those people while you do it the second time. And over time, perhaps perspectives or events or things will happily change with these people or go well with these people. It's possible that this will have a very positive effect. And that's why we do it. And it certainly doesn't help. I should say it certainly doesn't hurt us in any way either. Okay, so now the second time you can think, may you, and think about the person or people in particular, see their faces, feel them there, and now we'll do it for whoever the you is for you. So may you have happiness and the causes of happiness. May you be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May you never be separate from the happiness that is free of sorrow. May you reside in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. Well, thank you. And thank you for coming to this weekly meeting of the Natural Light Sangha. We'll be back next Sunday on the 12th of July of 2020 with another meeting. And that one will also be pre-recorded and on YouTube. It'll be coming out that day. And blessings.